Okay, I'm finally going to be talking about why I hate Nifty. Originally, I was going to be trying to connect Nifty and the character Demensia in this. I might briefly talk about that still. I wanted to connect them because they're both like Gremlin lady characters, but I think Demensia is a much more enjoyable person. And I recently checked out that show and it's a little bit on my mind. I just want to briefly say something about even just one aspect of it. But I've only seen the first 6 episodes of Villanova, so I don't have too much to say. I'm sure there's a lot to glean from those episodes, but I only watched them over like once. Nifty, on the other hand, I know a lot about, and I do have a lot to complain about with her, especially in how she's portrayed. In the pilot, I don't think she's terribly insufferable. She's just summoned there by Alistair to serve as a maid for the hotel. And her voice was cute enough, it was a little silly, but her presence was just as kind of a sidekick to Alistair. However, in the official show, I do think her character takes a massive turn for the worse. She's no longer just a cute little clean freak, but now she's this like corporate calculated character to appeal to edgy Tumblr girl humor. Even her catchphrase of like stab, stab, stab is so like forced. And like they're trying to market it into merch, and it's not cute. It doesn't like feel natural. It feels calculated. I also have a problem with the way that she's portrayed. Let me be clear, I don't think she's childlike because she's small. I think it's a lot more than that. Being small is just a part of what I think makes her appear childlike. It's her general attitude, and she does have a very young act. I'm gonna be listing a few points that I remember here, so sorry if it isn't chronological or if this is a little bit all over the place, but I wrote these down as they came to mind. There's a scene of Charlie taking her to 666 News so that she has someone help her keep track of what she wants to say or something, and she's listing off a bunch of things she has to say to them, and Nifty just has this very like babyish way of being like real straight, or whatever she keeps saying, and she keeps like jumping around and reaching her arms up like a little baby, like reaching for uppies or whatever. I think that's what people call it. But she's got this little jumpy kid attitude, and pretty soon before her song starts playing, Charlie is even doing that thing that people do for kids when they're afraid of something, like, oh look, that's not a camera, it's a big roach and you need to talk to it. And that's what snaps Nifty out of her fear, and she goes into her song about how much she loves cleaning things. And it's just having that be what snaps her out of her big phobia of the camera, and having Charlie be like, it's okay, little kid, it's okay, infantilizes her a lot. And the characters in the show, they're also always picking her up and handling her more like a toddler than a grown-up woman. One of the biggest examples I can think of off the top of my head is in season 1 when they're at a club. Angel grabs Nifty while she's like running around trying to clean the place, and he's like, oh, why are you being such a mess? And he's like scolding her, and then she starts wailing like a baby, and then he's like, oh no, it's okay, you can play with the big kitty. Again, this isn't like they insist on the character being an adult, but she's treated and acts very much like a child. And her voice too, the modern one particularly, I think is so grating to listen to. I don't know, a lot of the characters suffer from feeling flanderized, but Nifty grinds my gears a lot in particular. And this wouldn't, like, her being infantilized, it wouldn't bother me as much if they didn't have her in BDSM gear in that one scene, or like if they didn't constantly have her being like, oh, I love being touched, or ooh, bad boy, it wouldn't bother me as much if they didn't have that as part of her character, but it is a prominent part. And I have to say, I really hate that she's the one to kill Adam with that stabbing thing. I don't know, that annoyed me. Maybe I just really hate the trope of like little cute character is actually a big evil scary person. And also I just want to point out a line that I thought was kind of stupid when she's fighting with Velvet, and she's like, you hit like a girl, and it doesn't really make sense to me because like they're both women, and like it doesn't feel like taunting or anything. It feels out of place because when you have the characters say that, if it's like two guys saying that, you get it, they're men and they're trying to put each other down by saying like you hit like a woman, or if it's a guy saying it to a girl, it's like, oh, you're just trying to make them feel like, oh, cause you're a girl you're hitting weak. Or if you have a girl saying it to a guy, it's she's cleverly using that trope against a man who would typically say it to her. But when it's two women, it doesn't, like, why? Why is she trying to put down another woman by saying she hits like a woman when they're both women, you know? Demensia, I think, on the other hand, has she looks more like an adult to me, and I just think she's more charming. She's cuter, and I like her little, like, gecko kind of crawling around all the time, and I think she's a bit more useful to the group. Like, she actually does stuff. She's the tough one. She's the strong one of the group that's like beating people up, and you know, she's a bit of a meathead, but she's well-meaning, and she just wants to be able to help Black Cat in hopes that in hopes that she can woo him over. Yeah, kind of I don't have too much written about that, but I wanted to get that off my chest. I really hate Nifty as a character. I know that Vivy writes her specifically to be sort of a comedic relief, and that bothers me too. I don't like that she's written to be a comedic relief. I think there's enough quote-unquote comedic relief characters, and I do think that Nifty deserves to have more to her. Like, I think she deserves to have like a story and to have depth to her. I don't think just chalking her up as she's the little evil maid, she's a little evil girl that doesn't fit in. It's silly to me. I don't know. I think Vivy generally has a problem with writing her women characters. It's noticeable in like Charlie, Vaggie, Millie, in Hell of a Boss, which I haven't even made a video on Hell of a Boss yet. I think I think you guys are due for a Hell of a Boss video soon, or eventually, because there is stuff I want to talk about. I do have a script for one, I just never ended up recording it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. I will say my favorite character from that show is Crimson, easily. Okay, well, that's all I wanted to say about Nifty and Demensia. I think Demensia is a beautiful young lady, and I think Nifty is a fumbled character by a long shot. Alright, like, subscribe, comment, share. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Toodles.